Thank you for tuning in to the Miss Blue Radio Show. I have Ricky Bell, who is an actor, film director. He does everything. So we're going to be talking today about how he got into film and just the whole movie experience and acting experience. So first off, Ricky, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here. How about yourself?
Yes, I'm doing good as well. Just trying to stay cool. Like I said earlier, the Texas heat has been kicking my butt. Okay.
Yes, the same here in the Carolinas. Yeah, and oh, and the fires are everywhere. That doesn't help either. Oh my God. You know how people are when it's hot. Tempers are flaring. People are sweating.
Yes, that is so true. So you are from North Carolina?
I was born in Georgia, but I've lived in North Carolina for pretty much my whole life. And
Oh, okay. Now that's interesting. Have with Georgia being so popular, well, the Atlanta area, period, but being so popular with acting, have you ever thought about going back, or do you like the acting scene in North Carolina?
actually, I have considered going back, but I do like both.
Hmm.
There's like this part of me that feels like I almost need to put on for North Carolina. You know, because North Carolina essentially made who I was, or made who I am. So I just want to do right by it. Kind of like how J. Cole put on for Fayetteville, even though he doesn't live here, of course. But
Right.
I think that's why I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Cool. Well, y'all have had some talent come out of North Carolina, especially on the music end. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. For example, like he's blown up massively. Like even before he blew up like that, I had a homegirl who told me all about his music, showed me some of it. So he definitely had a big fan base even before he got his big record deal because
Right.
his marketing.
Yeah. So tell everyone what made you get into filming and acting.
Oh yeah, well, as far as acting goes, a lot of that came from me having like this active imagination. I guess you could say I've been a performer all my life, but I just didn't know it,
Mhm.
you know. And I kind of got nudged in that direction by family and friends. At first, I was like, acting. What are you talking about? I can't be an actor. I can't memorize lines. I barely remember what I had for breakfast this morning. I memorize entire scripts, but you
Right.
know, that, that kind of changed as time went on. Like even back when me and my friends were mad, we used to do like little comedy skits here and there. Where there's no script or anything. We would just think of a topic and kind of just go from there. Me and my homie Gary Frank, who does a lot of my work with me. Like we done skits where like like some guy that like jacks him, steals his money. We done skits where we're playing as cops. We did all kinds of things before we got really serious into this world. As far as the filming aspect goes, you make my own productions. It's a funny story. You know how as actors we have demo reels, right?
Oh yes, you better.
Yeah, the compilation videos of our best acting work. Well, at a certain point, I gotta be honest, I just needed new footage. I just needed something cool to put in. So I wrote up a little scene, made a little film of it, and put it out there on social media, and people really, really liked it. And that's when I decided to make a film of that, and that prompted a web series, which prompted other films that I started doing. I started creating other work, and I've kind of just been going up ever since then, which even led to my most recent project, Henry, that dropped a couple weeks ago.
Uh,
Industry's fun.
yeah, I've checked out several of your films, and recently I checked out the new one, which is Henry, and it was really good. You are big into sci-fi. So before we get on Henry, I have to talk about this sci-fi. Like, what made you so intrigued with sci-fi? Why that
Oh,
genre?
because the sci-fi, I mean, this blue, I mean, you just gotta love it. I mean, think about all the abilities you got. you never know. You could see dragons flying in the sky. The sky could be purple. People could be shooting beams on their hands. People can lift cars. I mean, there's all sorts of possibilities. And to be honest, that particular world just drew me in as an actor, as a content creator. You know, that's what prompted me to learn how to do certain special effects and certain aspects to create that world, to create those visuals. Now, don't get me wrong, it definitely wasn't easy.
No.
Ain't worth having, but worth being good at. It's not always gonna be easy.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And like you said, I don't know too many people that don't like sci-fi because I like the whole creative vibes. I love seeing like stuff flying and like that superhero action and graphics, and that's when I saw Henry. I was watching, like my eyes was tuned to it, like whoa. So I want to know, like when you were writing, like what kind of mind frame were you in? Because it was moments where I laughed. It was moments where I was just like, whoa, and then it was like, it was a lot going on. So tell me, what was the mind when you wrote Henry?
But the mind frame for when I wrote Henry was I wanted to create something that could instill positive energy in the viewers. You know, something to make people smile in the midst of everything that's happened in 2020.
Oh.
But the kick is I wanted to do it in my own way. I wanted to create something that I liked, but that I thought other people would like as well. And I'm, like you said, I'm big in the sci-fi fantasy world and the young adult genre as well. So I kind of combined all those into one, and that gave me the idea to do the writing for Henry. So that's why I purposely kept things kind of lighthearted, even in the midst of those serious saving the world moments. Kind of like the Marvel movies do to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, I definitely was tweeting like, y'all need to check this out, because like I said, I really enjoyed it, and I told you before on Twitter, Fortitude character, he was hilarious. It's like I didn't know if he was like the voice of reason or leading you into destruction at times. Can you talk about that? Wow. What was going on with Fortitude? Was he good?
Yes. It's crazy. A lot of people love Fortitude. I love Fortitude. The thing is, even though Fortitude is this ancient hammer that's been around for centuries, the hammer adapts to the time. So that's why you hear the hammer speaking, right? And the way he's speaking is like, "What's up, Woody?"
Yes. I was like, is he from Louisiana?
Yeah, the hammer was quite a personality, huh?
Yes. But I did like the fact that he was keeping you strong every time you thought that you were weak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you could say the hammer was like my character's best friend, so to speak, because you probably know starting to film my character really didn't have any friends. Yeah, until the hammer came along.
And mind you, he was talking to himself in certain parts of the film. He would be by himself and talking to this, to Fortitude. And I would just be like, it is so crazy. Like, people are they're gonna think he's crazy. Like,
well, you didn't know it's like in the classroom scene, for example, like one of the kids comment, he's always talking to himself. That kid's weird.
yes, and I laughed so hard. I was like, he do be talking to himself, but he was such a nice guy. But you will only know this. Somebody will only know this about you if they have really tuned into your work. So this is what I wanted to ask you. I noticed in your films, a lot of your characters are they don't have a lot of confidence at first, and they're shy and withdrawn. I would like to know what triggers you to write characters like that, and you're good at them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess to say the inspiration behind that is I like to write stories and create characters that inspire and motivate. You know, like even if let's just say the character is like a strong character, I still want to create some form of opposition
Mm.
so that he's not what the nerd world will call overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
He can even in real life, those are lessons that I kind of had to instill in myself because I wasn't always this confident, headstrong guy that might be today. You know, back when I was younger, I had a lot of self confidence issues. You know, and even though a lot of people wouldn't know that because back in those days I didn't really talk much either. That was kind of another issue with me. I had problems opening up to people.
Okay.
You know, it's closest to me. Like there are people who knew me for years and still never really knew much about me. You know, couldn't even say what my favorite color was, what my favorite animal was.
Wow.
And of course, a lot of that was my fault because I had problems opening up. You know, because there's a part of me that thought maybe people didn't really care. Like you ever talk about yourself sometimes and you kind of see the looks on people's faces where you're not really sure that person's listening or not.
Yeah.
You're not sure they're feeling you.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, kind of went through a lot of that growing up. You know,
Okay.
so that prompted a lot of the characters that I create, whether they be fantasy related characters or real life characters.
Okay. That makes sense because I know a lot of directors they do write from a certain point of view.
Mm.
So I like to try to understand the characters that they write, and if the characters they write have a lot to do with their personal, personalities or attributes, and so that was good knowing. I didn't know that about you, so that's good knowing that sometimes when I'm watching a Ricky Bell character, it's the old version of you. So what made you come out of your shell, if you don't mind me asking, and open up? Because being an actor, of course,
Hmm.
I assume you're networking, and you got great cast members, so you have to be talking. What made you come out of that shell?
Oh, to be honest, a lot of that was well, I guess you could say testosterone might have a little bit to do with it. And
Okay.
really, as far as the high school years, I guess when I dived more to, I did wrestling in high school. So as the years went on, as I continued to do that,
Hmm.
that helped build up my confidence. You know, but as an adult, you know, I didn't really fully come into who I am today. So I dived into the acting world. You know, you have to be in front of the cameras. You have to shake hands. You have to present yourself in a certain way. You have to articulate yourself in a certain way to be seen. You have to let people see and know your personality. You know, like I'm doing right now. See,
Right.
which isn't always easy. I mean, especially when sometimes I feel a little awkward at times, but you know, sometimes can be okay. You know, I learned how to kind of take that to my advantage. You know, even though it's funny in some of the characters that I do, I can do the awkward good guy. Sometimes I can do like the strong good guy. You know, the guy who talks with the deep voice, sounds like the serious stares.
Hmm.
You know, like the guy where it's time to save the world. You know, have to go into action. That's why like some of the roles I've been casting in the past have been like cop characters, detectives,
Mm.
so characters of that nature. You know, kind of just adds to that.
Right.
And I'll say something else too. Like you probably noticed that a lot of the films that do are in, I guess, in the young adult genre, meaning the high school, college area.
Yes, I seen
Well,
that.
like I said, you know, a lot of the stories that I do are to inspire and motivate,
Hmm.
and it's kind of just easy to do that. You know, with youth, it's kind of just easy to do that. You know, like when the characters are young and they're kind of coming of age.
Hmm.
You know, where a boy is starting to become a man, he's really starting to come into himself. You know, that kind of makes it easier to tell stories like those. You know, even though you can do it with older characters too, but I'm just saying it's a lot of fun to do it in that realm too.
Yes, touching up on something that you mentioned, I know I've heard a lot of stories about actors that are shy or have some type of social anxiety or, um, shy. And acting is an outlet that they're able to express themselves. And one of my favorite actors is Robin Williams, rest in. And I read this piece on him that was so intriguing. You would think the man was hilarious. He was very shy. He considered himself very awkward, and not sociable. But he was just making his mom laugh a lot, and that's how he got into Hollywood. He suffered from depression as well. So it is very, normal for actors to hide behind a character. So you saying that is so interesting. Again, that's another fact that I've yet learned about you.
Like Robin Williams, he's one of those actors that when he performs, you just can't help but want to smile. You know what I mean?
Right? Didn't you just love Mrs. Doubtfire?
Oh my God, yes. Oh.
I watched that movie so many times throughout my whole life. It never got old.
My God, even that song was stuck in my head for the longest. Da, da, do look like a lady. Da, da.
I miss his spirit so much.
Me too.
But yes, most definitely. So, with you having like that transition with high school and college, I do notice that a lot of your films. But like I said, the portrayal is always good. I kind of like the quirky guy that everyone thinks is like, and then he almost turned that fun, and everybody loves him, and
Oh, yeah.
I like that. You kind of remind me like in a sci-fi way, like a sci-fi Urkel.
Oh, thank you. I definitely take that as a compliment.
Who didn't love when Urkel stepped into that time machine and turned into Stefan and he wooed Laura?
Man, when he came out with all this swagger, like wow.
Is it the same guy?
You never would have guessed. I mean, Laura never would have guessed.
Okay, I was just like, that was like my favorite parts of Family Matters. I was like, okay, you need to get your ass in that time machine.
She said the same thing, apparently.
You know what? She did. She did. But so another thing I wanted to ask you is, who have been your experience? Who have been your influence as far as acting, especially in the sci-fi realm? I want to know, like, who did you pull that from?
Oh, when it comes to who and what against my inspiration from, my favorite actor in the industry, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Wow.
Dwayne Johnson, like ever since his first big movie, The Scorpion King, he's always been one of my favorite actors in Hollywood. Like even before he became the mega superstar that he is today. I mean, of course, growing up as a kid, I watched him as a pro wrestler. Like I loved him as a wrestler too.
Me too.
Marcus Cooking, remember the eyebrow?
Yes, I'm gonna lay a smack down on your candy ass.
Yeah, you Rudy Prue Jabroni. All kinds of catchphrases. like he does such an amazing job in his role as remember the movie Hercules, the one he had a couple years ago?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, like Kevin Sorbo was the Hercules that I grew up watching. But as far as recently, Dwayne Johnson, he took that role, he smashed it. Oh my God, especially the part where he was chained up to a wall. And then he yelled, "My name is Hercules." And then he smashed the chains off and he jumped in the air. But that was one of my favorite moments in that movie. He's one of my biggest inspirations, and I hope just to shake his hand one day.
Man, that would be nice. And I have to agree. He's awesome because not so many people, Ricky, transition from a part of the industry that you're used to them being in, like athlete, and be an actor. Sometimes it's kind of like you be like, nah, you should stick back to wrestling or something.
Yeah, especially to be taken seriously.
Yes, like he did it so effortlessly, you almost forget, like, damn, he's really good. So yeah, so that's a good one. I like that. And then would you consider his movies like fantasies, almost like sci-fi, but more like fantasies?
Yep. I consider someone like for example, the race to Witch Mountains.
Oh,
You know that one where he started as like a cab driver, and these two kids were aliens popped up in his cab, and next thing you know, he's off saving the world. And then, another example that came out, I believe either last year or the year before, Rampage.
oh, that one was great. I saw that.
Yep, he was dealing with the giant monsters, and
Mm,
he was pretty much friends with a 1,000 feet tall gorilla.
yeah,
That's something I definitely love to do too. And remember how that was pretty much like his best friend in the movie?
yeah,
It's almost like equivalent to how 42 the Hammer was my character's best friend in Henry.
exactly. That's
Mhm.
cool. You know what? I could also see you doing like a Will Smith, I Am Legend type of role
Oh my God, I
with
would love.
aliens. You know, it's like kind of like that alien zombie apocalypse movies. I love those. Would
Yeah,
you?
me.
I mean, I know it's not really sci-fi, but are you into
Oh,
those type of movies?
that is sci-fi.
Oh, so it is.
Yeah, that's still in the sci-fi realm because of the zombie aspect of it.
Okay, so do you think that you'll direct a zombie movie one day? I would like to see that.
I've never thought about it, but I'm definitely open to it. If it ever comes about, I'd love to see myself fighting off zombies and trying to get to the light at the end of the tunnel or the rooftop or wherever my character's trying to get to to
I think
escape
that
from
would be cool.
it.
Look, I might
But
have to fly to North Carolina so I could be one of the zombies.
oh my God, well, I was thinking you could be like one of the people running from the zombies. But here's one thing I would do differently. Like, okay, you see this in horror movies all the time. The black dude would not die first.
Oh my gosh! Thank you,
No, no.
thank you. I
Yeah,
absolutely hate
so
that. Did we
me
ever
too.
find
He
out?
always dies.
Did they ever answer why the black person always dies first?
Did they ever answer that question?
Yeah, because
No.
we see that's not cool. That's not cool. Because I
Yeah,
thought,
exactly. I'm low key scared to be
yeah, that's
I know
crazy.
I'm getting
There's a
taken off.
there's a movie called
No.
Challenge. You ever saw that with Michael B. Jordan?
Which movie?
Oh my goodness. I thought it was called Challenge. It's actually a movie where they go underground and they touch a rock, like an alien rock, and they get these superpowers. They can fly and do all types of crazy stuff.
Wait. Okay. Are you referring to Chronicle?
Thank you. That movie was
Yeah.
so good, and then I got pissed off when Michael B. Jordan died.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I definitely remember that movie.
I was
That
like,
was
why did he have to die? I didn't even, not trying to be rude, but I didn't even know the other guys. I was like, why did Michael B have to die like that?
yeah. Like, well, why did he have to die? Like, yeah, they could have did that differently. I believe too.
I was so annoyed. I was like, you know what? So yeah,
Oh
in
my
your
God.
movie, don't die.
It's like sometimes, like when it comes to these movies, you can kind of predict that.
You know what? Unfortunately, that is true.
Hmm.
You almost be like, you know what? She gonna die. And it's funny because later on, it might be a long time, but she died.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. She's gonna trip over a branch.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. So another thing that we talked about this a lot on social media, is being casted as one character, the same character, and how we felt about that. So let's talk about that. How do you feel about, maybe not even just for you, but when you see an actor that you know has a wide range ability to play any role, and then you're excited to see him in a new movie, you're like, he's a principal again. He's a cop again. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, to be honest, like sometimes they say the last word in typecast is cast, but that sounds all well and good. But I feel like when actors get to a certain point in the industry, it's okay for the industry to branch them off from that. Like I'll throw a good example to you. Gabrielle Union. Notice that just about every movie she's in, she's always that hard up, strict woman who can't keep a man for whatever reason, despite her being beautiful, intelligent, having the total package in all of her characters. For whatever reason, she just can't keep a man. I never quite understood it. It's like, why can't she be the good, wholesome wife that has a happy family, happy home? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, like a lot of people noticed that about her. Like, and even Megan Good for a while, she got typecast as bad, like very bad as being just that sexy.
The sex figure, she definitely got typecasted as that. I'm just like, and she's so good.
She is. It's like it feels like the industry almost doesn't remember her from her earlier years.
Eve's Bayou, yeah, she did great in Intruders, which was a more recent movie at the time.
Yeah, I remember that one. Like, remember that show, My Cousin Skeeter?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was Megan Good was in that one too. Yeah, I remember, like, and she was such a good girl, in that role, and even other roles she did after that. And a lot of people forget that she started off as just like a little kid. Like, if you ever watch Friday, you'll see her as one of the little kids outside
at the ice cream truck. Yeah.
Yep. She was trying to rush them because it was taking forever.
She had an attitude.
Yeah. The Smokey's like, dang, don't you see grown folks talking?
Yes, that's a cult classic now.
It is. And you yourself, you said, you've been through the typecast, unfortunately. You being the sexy vixen, the side chick, pretty much the overall evil woman.
I know, you know what, and I hated that because it was just like, like, why? Like, I try so hard to audition out here and show people that I can do anything. One of my favorite, no, I'm not gonna even say one of my favorite. My favorite actress of all time is Angela Bassett.
Ooh.
She can play any role. And whenever I do a monologue, I choose something from, something, Angela Bassett has done. I did, what was that? Waiting to Exhale, the closet scene. I mean, I went off.
Oh,
So I killed it to still be casted as like some type of jump off.
Yeah.
So Ricky, how I feel about that is I feel like directors have their right to in your movie, your vision of who you think this person plays. And I think that's what happens with us actors and actresses, and unfortunately we're caught in the crossfire. They just see you as a police, or I only want to see her as a mistress or a stripper. Nothing.
Or stripper. Even though they don't know in real life, for all they know, you could be a very wholesome, nice, good girl, but they would never know that. So they actually get to know you, which most of the time they usually don't. But I'm just saying, if they did, they would see you in a different light.
Yeah.
And like, even you said that, like you're a curvy girl, obviously, and you tried to hide your curves, and even then that didn't help.
That was I was kind of upset. I'm not gonna lie. And I expressed my concerns to the casting director because I said, when I came here, I came to read a monologue and show you that I can memorize lines and that I'm professional. And you didn't like me, or like the fact that you said that I was being fake because I didn't want to show my ass. I'm not being fake. It's just, that's not the role that I was auditioning for.
Yeah, that is so weird. Wow.
Yeah, like, and I didn't. She thought I was being fake, and I'll never forget. I got a call, come back to the next one, and I just was like, you know what? I'm not even interested.
Like, I'm good.
That was a turn off. Yeah.
I don't blame you. No.
You call me fake? Call me fake if I talk about you behind your back and I told your business. Call me fake or something like that, but not because I'm trying to be professional. And I get that, believe it or not, I get it out here a lot with the directors out here. And I wouldn't say Houston is really just known for that like Atlanta is.
Oh yeah, oh Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta has a lot of diverse roles and opportunities for
Oh
actors.
yeah, I've done some work out in Atlanta. You know, I've done some auditions and gigs out there, and there's a lot going on in Atlanta too.
Oh yeah, I love it. But like I said, and this is transitioning into my next topic with you is, have you, because we are talking about them typecasting you as a specific role, is that one of the main reasons also why you have decided to film your own movies and direct your own movies so you can cast yourself how you know want to be portrayed?
Oh, absolutely. Because you know, I thought to myself, you know what? So Miss Blue, if I'm gonna be typecast, I'm gonna be typecast as what I want to be. You know,
Right.
not what they want me to be, but what I see myself as. You know, so if I got typecast as being the good guy, then guess what? I will be. There are so many worse things I could be typecast as. I will be perfectly okay with that. You know, because I'm very passionate about those kinds of characters, anyways.
Right.
You know, I'd rather be that than be typecast as the crackheads, the drunk guy, the gang bangers, or drug dealers. Not that I'm knocking actors to do those roles. I'm just saying that that's not really what I see myself as.
Right.
My brand and my genre.
No, and I totally agree. Especially like you said, if you're going to be typecast, you want to be able to do it yourself. I mean, because at least you're portraying so many different roles that when someone sees your reel, they'll be able to kind of really grab, you know, your character and say, I could put him here, here, you know. And like I said, you do a really great job. So how long you shoot a lot of short films, movies? I think Henry was uh, about an hour, very close to an hour long.
Yeah, far from it.
How long is that process of like with the scenes and the actors and actors coming together? How long does it usually take for you to direct and film a movie?
Oh, to be honest, like I'll throw Henry as an example. That took in total 4 separate days to film.
Okay.
And as far as the editing process,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, those days were spaced out that we were filming. So in between that process, I was editing the scenes that I already shot before the next shoot. So that way, it's not this thing where I'm waiting until the whole project is finished before I actually start editing, because then it would take me a lot longer to put the project out.
Right.
That's how I used to do it. But then I kind of got smart about it, and I was like, you know what? Why am I waiting until the last minute? Let me just start what I have now, so I don't have to worry about it later. I can just combine it all at the end when I'm ready.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. So that's not too bad, 4 days, because I know it's when it comes to like films and movies, it could take months.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been in some projects like that. I've been in some that's taken years. You know.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So it's definitely a big process.
Well, let me share this one story that I had. We were filming a movie, and when I did my part, I was wearing I wasn't wearing a lot of clothes for the scene, and it caused me to have to be outside. So I think about some burglar bars, and I'm trying to talk to this guy to get inside. I have something. I'm trying to seduce him, and he's keeping me outside. He like, bitch, I don't trust you. And it starts to rain. It starts to rain, and so yeah, check this out. The director is like, I don't care if it's raining. I need you to still act. So we taking scenes and going over the scenes 1,000 times, and I ended up getting sick.
Oh.
Do you know when the movie finally got done, and it was like 3 days before we were going to the theater to see it and have the grand opening, that the director told me that she cut that scene out and didn't even use it? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I've had similar experiences. Yes, yeah. When my
You're one of
scenes got
yours.
wow. I mean, I've been through that same experience where we're filming a scene and it started pouring down, completely raining.
Oh my God.
It's like you, we kept it rolling because it was for a sci-fi superhero film. My superhero web series I have outside of this, Jarman,
Hmm.
where in episode 6 we were doing a fight scene where it just happened to pour down raining. So it matched the theme. It matched what was going on. It made the scene more dramatic. So we just roll with it.
Uh-huh.
But and plus, I have a strong immune system, anyways. But in your case, yeah, that rain, it sounds like it really sucked. I mean, I'm sorry that happened. I mean, to go through all that, all those retakes, and even then, it wasn't in the final cut.
It was already freezing because this was the winter
It was
time.
freezing. Oh,
Yeah, it was the winter time, so it was freezing and it had started to pour down raining. And she was just like, no, no, we're gonna. I had got sick for 2 weeks. So I couldn't come to the set because I lost my voice. I was really sick. And so when she told me that, I was just like, you know what? It got to be a better way.
I know you're fuming inside. I mean, I'm sure you didn't let it show, but I know on the inside, you were thinking some thoughts naturally.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Is this for me? Because I mean, but you know what? It's a part of acting, and people don't see the down. I don't want to say, well, the pros and cons. I guess it's cool to say people don't see the cons sometimes of the entertainment. They just see the movie Henry and just think, oh, he looks like he's having fun. They don't see the sweat and the tears behind these projects.
No, like they don't see the process. Like even like in Henry, right? Um, Remember the big fight scene between myself and the villain,
Mm,
Darius Black? Well, it was so hot that day. Remember how I was dressed? I was wearing the hoodies and everything.
yes.
Oh my god, it was so hot that particular day. But of course, I'm the lead guy in charge, the lead actor, director, and everything. So I'm trying to pretend like it's not hot. I'm all like, oh no, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good. In the back of my head saying, Rick, you lying.
Ah,
Oh
but
my
trying
god.
to play it cool.
Yeah. Hint, hint. Play it cool. I like that. No pun intended. Like that was one of my that was one of my favorite scenes. Actually, was the big battle scene where
Ooh, mine
my
too.
oh yours too. Thank you. Plus, it was a lot of fun too.
Yes, I that was one of my favorite scenes because, like I said, I like when the guy that you don't expect that's been bullying, that's been bullied, takes his power back and defeat the bad guy. I hate because I don't like bullies. I don't. I don't
Really,
like them in real life, and I don't like them in movies.
no, definitely, especially not in movies. Oh God, no, no.
I don't like them.
Yeah,
Anytime I see a bully, I'll be like, "Oh, I hope something bad happened to that bullying that poor kid." So I was happy when you kicked his butt. I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." Yeah,
thank you. We had that coming, definitely.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what I was gonna say. He probably knew he had it coming, but he actually had a lot of self-esteem. He didn't think
Mhm.
that he could be defeated. He really thought it was a joke.
Yep, he did. I mean, like even my character wasn't entirely sure I could beat him at first. Especially remember you okay, obviously I have fortitude, right? But
Hmm.
then when he pulls out his hammer, it's like a oh crap moment. You know?
Yes.
Oh crap, he has a hammer too. This isn't good.
Yeah. You know what? I saw that. I was just like, this ain't gonna be good. He's gonna get hurt. And you know what? It's so funny because my son, he is huge on sci-fi. He is, and he tries to make films like from iMovie and stuff. He adds like graphics and superpowers. So I told him that. I showed him that movie and he loved it.
Thank you, thank you.
He goes, Mom, did you see his graphics? I said, that's why you need to take this stuff serious and get into graphics school and stuff like that, because he makes his own films. You don't have to wait on no one to cast you. So one of these days, if God say the same thing, I would love for him to read one of your books and we could get out there having your sci-fi movies, because this kid loves sci-fi. That would be like a dream come true.
I would absolutely love that, 100%. Oh my God.
Okay, so whenever like somewhere down the line when the COVID and stuff is done, that would be great if you're working on something, because he loves sci-fi. So we have been talking. Is there anything that you would like to mention? Because we covered a lot, but is there anything you would like to mention about your current projects or just anything?
Absolutely. Like I'll give you some I guess you could say confessions about Henry. Like I got certain inspirations from other well-known things. Like for example, are you familiar with King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table?
Of course.
Remember how King Arthur was the chosen one, and he was the one who pulled the stone from sword from the stone?
Yes.
It's almost kind of like that in Henry, where instead of me pulling the sword, I pulled the hammer from the stone, and I was the chosen one then. And remember how King Arthur had Merlin as his mentor, Merlin the magician?
Yes.
Yeah, remember how Henry had Frederick Ezekiel as his mentor, who does magic as well. So it was kind of, those things are kind of similar in that retrospect,
right.
so to speak.
That's cool.
Thank you. Like, it's funny, even some people kind of notice those similarities at first.
Okay, see, that's good because they paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Absolutely. And I'll make some other confessions to you. Like remember my interactions with my love interest, the girl in the story?
Yes.
Yeah, like a lot of that's kind of based on like who I was, my early years. Like, let me tell you, through middle school, like early high school years, I was terrible at talking to girls. They're just terrible. Oh my God. So a lot of what you saw in the film, the nervousness, the stuttering, the stammering, not looking a girl in the eye, a lot was based on real life, based on the real me, so to speak.
Wow.
Like, cause you remember, I mean, it was so bad that you might have felt sorry for me,
I did, because in the scene, you were supposed to be asking her out, and you kept like, you were stuttering, and she ended up asking you out and setting up the date.
Yeah, because you remember, I kept on rambling and like, she like put her hand, like, okay, you need to be quiet now. And she took my phone out of my pocket and put her number in it.
I was just like, oh, poor guy. Another thing I thought was funny, now that since you mentioned it, how awkwardly shy he was, is toward the end when she had been seeing him talk to himself, so she knew that he had like a superpower or something, and she wanted to see it. And he was I was just like, man, this is like, only Ricky would think this and do this.
Because it kind of sounded sexual in my character's eyes. She said, "Can I see it?" I'm like,
yeah.
"It."
And you're like,
But wait, it? I mean your hammer. Oh, you mean my hammer? Oh, that hammer.
That's why I said this part, bro. You like sad, you laugh at him, and then it's just like you be like, man, bro just lost.
Yeah, man. And like I'll tell you what was one of the most awkward things to do, okay? Like, well, actually not necessarily awkward, but funny. Remember when we kissed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that particular scene, I purposely performed that in the way I did. Where remember how I landed on her at first, right?
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like a small awkward peck, right?
Right.
And then we went, I guess, the full on kiss in there, because the thing is, like with teenagers, for example, like usually when they kiss at first, it's not those long, smooth, Hallmark kisses that you see in the movies most of the time.
Right.
No, usually it's short, it's sweet, to the point. A lot of times they don't know where to put their hands at. You know, so I want to convey that, perfectly. Unlike a lot of my other films you've seen where you've seen me kiss in other projects where, for the most part, it's really smooth, right?
Right. Like he seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this character, Joseph Henry, he doesn't know what he's doing. Someone to convey that. Like it's a character that's not experienced with girls like that.
Right. But it was believable. And I think that's the good thing about that's a great thing, not a good thing about being an actor and an actress is that when you can make your audience believe the character that you're portraying. And you like I said, you did a great job. Are you going to do another like a part 2 of Henry, or do we just get that part? Because it was good. I would like to see another part happen.
Well, Miss Blue, it's funny that you mention that because the thing is, at first, it was just going to be a standalone film. It was one and done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all. But
Wow.
it's funny. One of my friends, my coworkers, he actually had a nice talk with me, and he taught me into doing a part 2. So, yes, I'm doing a part 2 too. I'm doing a sequel.
Whoa.
It will be a Henry 2 coming out.
You have got to keep me posted.
Oh, thank you. And if I never would have had that conversation, it wouldn't have happened because he was feeding me all sorts of ideas. At first, I was kind of resistant. I was like, I don't know, man. It was a lot going on. I don't know if this should get another one. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe he's right. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be great. Like some movies, you just be like, but I would like to see something added to it. I would like to see if the characters end up really building a relationship. I would like to see if that's the end of that bad guy. And then if it's not, I would like to see if he comes back with an even stronger vengeance. And then the Fortitude character was just too funny. I want to hear more of him leading you into danger, but still motivating you at the same time.
Absolutely. You'll definitely see more Fortitude. Trust me, he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious though.
Like, what are the odds of having a magic talking hammer? That's you said the voice of reason. Because theoretically, if it wasn't for the hammer, I never would have talked to the girl.
You know what? That's true because that sucker kept every time you was walking in that wooded area, you was looking at him.
Yep, exactly.
It's like you had no choice. I was like, no, wait a minute. As you can see, Ricky, I really do enjoy your film. And if you send me a link, I might not watch it right then because when I watch something, I like to give it my undivided attention. And when I watch it that night, I was eating my popcorn and laying in my bed on my iPhone like this. Damn.
Oh, thank you. Oh, was the popcorn good too?
Oh, yes. And they was like, what are you doing? I was drinking my little mimosa just because I really like watching independent films. That's just, why not treat them just like a Will Smith film? There are some great underground directors, like the Spike Lees of the world is what I call you.
Yeah, ones. The world doesn't know it, but hey, the world's gonna find out eventually. Man, I swear they will.
Oh yeah, you just keep putting it in their face, and I think when we can start traveling again, and things will get better because you have to network as a creator. And right now, we can't network. But have you ever put any of your films into those film, like the Black Film Festival, submitted them to those? I think they would be good.
Oh yeah. I definitely have. One of my previous project was in a few film festivals. Henry, I've submitted to a couple of film festivals as well. Yeah, okay. So just fingers crossed on that. And you might make another confession to you.
I'm serious. Like, look.
Thank you. But it's funny that the actress is playing as my mom and Henry. like there's quite a few people who thought that was my actual mom in real life. Like, each other.
Are y'all good friends in real life?
Yep, we
Oh, that's nice. The chemistry was great. All the actors and actresses that you choose do great, but yes, that was a real like they could be family.
oh yeah, for real. It definitely felt like that. You know, even just portraying the characters, like even the part where remember the part before the date, right? Where I had the deep conversation with my mom, and she tells me to have fun in my date, right? Remember,
Mm,
corrected herself. She was like, "Have fun, but not too much fun."
not too much, yeah. I remember that. I was laughing like, she knows them little hot girls.
A real mom moment right there, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So
Don't
you're,
bring,
huh?
don't bring no babies in here.
I know that's right. Exactly what a mom would tell you, especially being in high school or college.
Yeah,
Get that
absolutely.
education.
And let me
Uh,
ask you,
huh?
um, okay, when the film started off, did you expect it to start off like that, where it started off with me being bullied? Like, did you expect that? A lot of people didn't.
I didn't. I was mad about that. Because I cannot stand bullies. I just wanted. Oh, I was like, just punch him in his stomach. Come on, you can do it. God just
Like,
kept messing with you.
yeah, I know, right? You know, he took my lunch money, through my wallet, like embarrassed me in front of the girls, and the kids were laughing at me.
It was sad, yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially like when the kids were laughing, one of them had like a cell phone out recording, so it's like
Like
they're
they
watching.
do, like they do these days.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what they do, unfortunately.
Yeah, your movies. Every time when I see that in your movie, I always think about. I was never the kid that was getting like bullied, but I was considered to be one of the like. I don't like to use the term popular, but well known. And I ran track, so I was an athlete. So I knew I was cool with a lot of athletes, and
To be honest with you,
they would be mean. Like they can't sit with us, and why are you talking to her? And I would just be like, I'm not like that.
yeah, that's good. Like I could definitely see that. Absolutely. Now you want one of those kids that's like, look at them lames over there, you know?
You know what? You know what? Who I used to call lame?
Who?
My athlete friends and basketball players and football players. I was doing it. I was like, "You real lame. Like that's not cute. Like you. Why are you talking about that person?" And they would be like, "You supposed to be no. I'm supposed to treat somebody like I would want to be treated, and like I don't like that. So I'm not sitting with y'all no more." That's I've always been like that. I don't like stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I'm glad you took your power back.
Thank you.
Y'all need to watch this movie. Like we just sitting up there like talking like about this movie, but it's really, really a great movie. And for my sci-fi people, you would really, really enjoy it. It's great. Like seriously.
Like, and I hope it inspires others too. And I hope that John, like for those who are familiar with the John Henry character from the folktale, hopefully they're inspired by that aspect as well.
Yes.
Because a lot of them probably, like you probably remember the tall tale from when you were a kid, like if you saw the Disney cartoon of John Henry where he's a railroad worker and he's slinging that sledgehammer.
Yeah, he was huge in stature too.
Yup, exactly. Like the guy who like the actor who submitted himself for the role of John Henry. Like when I looked through his pictures, I thought, wow, this guy, he literally looks just like the cartoon. Like I've got to get this guy. Like that is so spot on.
Whoa.
Like and this guy definitely spent more than a couple hours in the gym.
Right?
He definitely fit the part.
That's great. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this Henry 2. And you must keep me posted, but you always do.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I'll promote it and I'll watch it and always support. Um, are there any last words you would like to say to like any that's trying to break into film or just, any type of advice that you carry with yourself along within this?
Well, I gotta say this. Well, if you want to be in this industry, I gotta say you gotta be strong and you gotta be able to being able to adapt is key in this industry. The ability to adapt to anything, to know that things are not always gonna 100% work out, but you gotta keep going. I've had so many carpets pulled from underneath my feet. Like I can't even count them right now. A lot of things I thought was gonna happen didn't happen. A lot of things fell through. A lot of things, didn't go my way, but I didn't let me keep me down.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you got to have, in pursuit of this, whether you be an actor, director, screenwriter, or the case may be. You got to have fortitude.
Mm. I love the way you ended that. You are definitely a writer. I know a writer. I know a writer. I can spot him from the crowd. But Ricky, it has been awesome interviewing you and getting this straight out. I'm going to promote this. I'm going to hopefully be able to air this on Roku because it was a lot of great information. I think someone will benefit from hearing everything you had to say and maybe get some, encouragement if they're lacking in that department.
That I love that. I love the sound. I definitely appreciate you, Miss Blue. Appreciate you always. You're the best. Like DJ Khaled. We the best.
Yes. Okay. And hey, let me say this. Can you let everyone know what your social media is so that they can follow you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can find me on Instagram at hashtag Ricky Vision. I'll say that one more time. Ricky RCKY Vision, like iVision.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find me on Facebook as well at Ricky Bell Jr. That's how you can find me. Specifically Ricky the Vision Bell Jr. That's in vision with your eyes. Hey, you always gotta keep your vision clear. Hey, especially since these days we got 2020 vision, right? No pun intended.
Ooh, yeah, we got 2020 vision, all right.
I'm sorry, I had to do it. Okay, swear, no more 2020 jokes at me. I had to do it.
Yeah, it's all good. We can always use a good laugh. Well, thank you, my friend. You stay encouraged. You keep me posted. God bless you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
I wish you nothing but the best too, Miss Blue.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you're ever feeling down in blue, hey, have fortitude.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Bye.